Here we are, it's time again. We are starting a new build. I know, it's July, it's the middle of the summer, should be out flying. It's stinking hot where I live, all right? It is so hot and humid that you go outside and it just hurts to breathe after a while. So I am gonna play it safe and stay inside and hunker down in my workshop and make a new plane because I'm really excited about this build. Old School Model Works. That's right. We're back with Old School Model Works, and this time we're building a Kaos. And the Kaos is one of those old kind of builds that just to put it plainly, they just go like stink. All right, they're just phenomenal flying planes. I've never flown one, but I've seen a number of them fly over the years. So I'm really excited to have this kind of sport plane. So the point of this, all right? So the mild point is I have a sport plane. I have a glow sport plane, and it's the SIG something extra. This plane was built, crashed like 3 times, and then bought by another club member, crashed again, I think, and then it came to me, and I've crashed. This airplane's been through a lot. A lot. So I wanted a new plane. I wanted a little bit bigger, a little bit sportier, and something that's a little more me and not just something that's just sort of like filling a weird void. Something that's more special to me, that I'm going to fly and enjoy flying a little bit more. So this is going to fill that void. And what it's also going to do is do some significant teaching. So what does that mean? Well, to start things off, I have gone out and spent like a little over 50 bucks, $35 for a wooden sawhorse from Lowe's, $10 for a 4x4 that I cut in half, and some plywood and brackets so that I now have an engine stand. I now have some place to work on an engine and play with it and do fun things to it. And as you can see, I've got some other specimens too that I can use on this in future builds. Hint, hint. Moving right along, this is going to be powered by a K&B 61. For those of you who don't know that there are engines other than Sato or OS, K&B is one of those engines that was pretty popular back in the day, and I'm excited to have this one. It came to me second, third, don't know how many hands, but it runs. I got it put together, put it on the stand, have a whole bunch of pieces and stuff put together to make it work, and it works. It needs significant amount of work to tune it right. The adjustment needle, the idle needle was way out of whack. The high-speed needle was also way out of whack. So it needs some work, and so I can dig into that a little bit. I know what I'm doing vaguely, so I can take you a little bit on the ride for that. But the main reason that I want to do this build is because it's going to be a study for the next build. The next build is going to be a blowout build. So let me give you a little taste of what's to come. All right, so what are we looking at here? We have 3 products here that are really what is the basis of my education for this model. I always try to tell people that the best way to go about learning things is to take one technique and spend one model learning how to do that technique, and by the time you finish that model, you've pretty much mastered it, or at least mastered it for you. You can refine it as you continue to build, but after you have half a dozen or so really strong techniques, you're able to really build a lot of models. And covering is just one of my weak spots. Now, I have done plenty, my fair share. I've got, covering there, covering the, I mean, I've got covering. I've done covering on models. I've done touch-ups on covering. The Curtis Hawk, I've done repairs on that. The Curtis Helldiver, the wing there, that's covering. The Smoothie. You guys remember the Smoothie? I did some custom work for that. I'm no stranger to the film coverings, but this is something else entirely. This is SIG coverall. Now, it's heat shrinkable, but it is polyester-based fabric. Okay, So this goes on and it doesn't have an adhesive. So that's where this comes in. I have had this Coverite balsa rite for long time. Long time. Probably about 10 years at least. I picked it up secondhand, never had been opened, and I opened it up, tried a piece, and we're good. So it's just a liquid that you brush on, and what it does is create something that when you apply heat to it, it will stick to it. So it acts as like the glue that sticks this on. All right. So once we build up our wood frame, we paint the areas that we're going to apply the fabric to, stick it with that, and then come into dope. Okay. This is something I have never, ever done before. This is polyester. So you want to make sure that you're getting non-tautening. Okay. Taut. That means pull or stretching, right? Polyester doesn't stretch, right? Okay, so you want the non-tautening kind. I picked this up from Aircraft Spruce, recommended by a good friend to pick it up there. Thank you, Joshua Finn. And that's all. I mean, it's not that much. So it was like 25 bucks for 5 yards of this stuff, and like another 25 bucks for this. Had this on hand. So we're not in this too terribly expensive. It's just a process that takes time. Now, the reason I obviously want to do this is because full-scale aircraft are covered in fabric and doped, right? So this gives you a very scale appearance, and it's something that obviously I'm a scale builder. I want to do more of. I want to learn new techniques to do that. So let that sort of compute in your gray cells for a minute, because that sort of leads you to where we're going on the next build, right? Scale, detail, fabric covering. Okay. It's going to be a great time. And to couple that with the engine run-up stand, trust me, it's going to be a good time. So bear with me. We're going to get through this build. It's just like any other Old School Model Works kit. I had a chance to talk with Mark over at Old School Model Works. His wing jig it makes life really easy, so I'm looking forward to trying that. And of course, I'll showcase it for you guys so that you can see how awesome it is too. It looks really quite smart. So that being said, not going crazy on electronics. We're going to try some, tried and true things, and maybe if there's opportunity, try some new things. Not going crazy here. Just not going crazy. I've got parts order from Dubro coming, so that we, of course, incorporate the best of the best in terms of hardware. You bet your butt we're going to be using chromies on the Kaos. And I've got a color scheme coming that it's going to make my heart sing a little bit. You guys will probably think it's really ugly, but I will say that if you're a local to me, you will appreciate it and think that it's pretty cool. So with that said, guys, don't let this summer get away from you. There's lots of really great sales going on for building supplies. I'm a huge advocate of building up your building supply inventory over the summer during all of these sales. We just had 4th of July sale at Dubro. So head on over there to dubro.com, use my code Josh10 at checkout, and save yourself 10%. And I am just excited to have that code for you guys available so that you can just keep building some amazing stuff. There are other places too that are doing sales. Just build up your arsenal, because winter will come. Your building season will come. I build all year long. So thanks so much for stopping by the workshop, seeing what I'm up to, what the new project is going to be. This Kaos is going to be just a really fun build from an educational point. I'm really excited to learn something new, to show you my failures and take you along that ride. So until next time, keep working on your flying works of art.